Hey everyone, this is Walter, and I'm back here with some more stories from Reddit. This might be another long video, so let's just get into it with stories from Reddit Am I the Asshole? I actually got this on Best of Redditor Updates, the place for stories with updates. It's originally from September of 2024, but it just got updated for probably the last time earlier this month. Perfect time to read it. New update. Am I the asshole for calling my friend a creepy weirdo after she posted a TikTok about my husband? I, 28 female, am friends with this girl. Let's call her June, also 28 female. In fact, my husband, 32 male, and I often hang out with June and her boyfriend, i.e. go on double dates, have weekend trips, etc. We've known each other for over 2 years. I would say that we four were pretty tight as a group, up until this weekend. My husband is an orthodontist. One of his patients is June's half-sister, Raya, 12, female. June often is the one accompanying Raya to her dental appointments. June is also a small-time online influencer. She's always recording and vlogging and stuff. Though my husband and I have made it clear to her that we're absolutely not okay with our faces in her vlogs online, and she seemed to respect that boundary. We don't use social media, apart from Reddit. And we trusted her word when she said she's not going to post us online. Cut to last weekend. My brother sent me this TikTok link with the message, "Dude, you gotta watch this." I opened the link and it directed me to June's TikTok account. She doesn't have much followers, less than 10k. But the particular video he sent me had like 500,000 views/likes, I'm not sure which. Lo and behold, it was a video compilation of my husband with the title, "God, I see what you've done for others." The video was honestly the creepiest thing I've ever seen. She had recorded my husband during various of our double dates together, and it was clear he wasn't even aware he's being recorded. In some of the clips, she would start with her face and then pan the camera towards my husband with a cutesy expression and mouthing words like, "Oh my god." The worst one was where he was working on her half-sister, Raya, wearing scrubs, and she'd recorded even that. She didn't even bother to blur out the kid's face while she was lying on the dental chair. I showed the video to my husband and he was horrified. He said it made him so uncomfortable and violated, knowing that someone had been secretly recording him. He was angry that she'd recorded him working on a patient. He texted her asking to take down the video and delete every video she has of him. First she feigned ignorance, then she said she meant no harm, and that it was all for online engagement, since, I quote, "TikToks with hot guys go viral very fast," and that she'd gained a lot of followers after posting that. This was all so weird, but my husband and I got our families and friends to report the video, and thankfully it's being taken down now. This pissed off June, and she sent me a long-ass text saying how I was jealous of her online success, and that I couldn't stand seeing her succeed, blah blah blah. I replied saying, "You're delusional and unhinged. You're not successful and you'll never be. Stay away from us, you creepy weirdo." Now she's all weepy and depressed, and has been telling our common friends how mean I was to her. She's also been posting about mental health on her socials, and about how mean some women are with their words, lol. Am I the asshole? Man, I feel like online clout is destroying our society in ways that drugs never could. But this story has several updates, so you know it's weirder than just clout chasing. 2 days later. Update. I don't want to make another post for the same thing, and I doubt I'm going to be updating again. 1. My husband's practice reached out to Raya's parents and informed them about the situation via email, as they wanted everything documented, like I mentioned in the comments. The parents have responded. They are shocked and very, very apologetic. They have agreed to chaperone Raya on her appointments instead of June. They wanted to meet my husband personally to apologize, but he informed them that that won't be necessary. 2. June's TikTok video is still in the process of being taken down. No new updates on that. I guess she contested the reports or something. I'm not entirely sure. My husband and I have blocked her. My brother is keeping an eye on her account though, just in case she posts something else about us. We'll see what to do if/when it happens. We're going to be consulting a lawyer if she bothers us again in the future. 3. My husband is kinda shaken up/upset/annoyed about this whole thing. He's taken some days off from work and so have I. We'll plan a trip somewhere maybe, to take his mind off these things. Right now, I need to be there for him. I won't be posting anything for now. 4. We haven't contacted her boyfriend yet. My husband is not in the right headspace right now, and I feel it'll be better if we focus on ourselves for the time being. We don't want the added headache of how the boyfriend will react, / if he's in on this or whatever. We'll inform him after some time. I know this is selfish, but I think it's for the best. Thank you all for the responses. Update number 2, October 11th, 2024, almost 1 month later. I genuinely hoped I wouldn't be updating this story again, but life had other plans. We thought the drama was done, but nope. We filled June's boyfriend in on everything, and he was shocked, hurt, and confused. Turns out June managed his social media, and he had no clue what she was posting. He thanked us, and we thought that was it, but then he asked to meet up, saying he needed to discuss something. To be honest, we were extremely hesitant to meet with him. We were so done with the drama and didn't want to get sucked back in. But he seemed genuinely concerned and willing to listen, so we agreed. At the meeting, he revealed he'd confronted June. She broke down, professed her love, and claimed her obsession with my husband was for social media clout. Apparently, his total package made for great content. When he asked to see her phone, she refused, so he checked her laptop and found hundreds of sneaky photos and videos of my husband. And, for laughs, she had pics of me looking my absolute worst. Mouth open while eating, weird faces, the works. I think I'm pretty good looking, but these photos were the opposite. It's like she wanted to prove a point about my husband's ugly wife. June's boyfriend dumped her. But honestly, we're even more freaked out now. The scale of her obsession is terrifying. Hundreds of photos and videos? That's not just a crush, that's fixation. The thought of her escalating to something more is keeping us up at night. As a small consolation, June's boyfriend made her delete the videos from her social media and laptop. But God knows how many more copies she has. Despite June not reaching out after all this went down, we're still on high alert. Her radio silence is kind of unnerving, and we're bracing ourselves for whatever might come next. Hopefully it is in fact just for social media clout, not some weird baby reindeer type obsession with my husband. It's kind of unsettling how she was friends with me for over 2 years. We hung out often. We've gone on weekend trips with her and her boyfriend. We have so many mutual friends. And yet no one knew she's doing this behind our backs. Either I'm bad at reading people, or she's very good at being sneaky and deceptive. I'm also mentally kicking myself for not realizing that someone was taking pictures of me. I feel my husband and I both need to be less dumb and more aware of our surroundings, lol. On a brighter note, Raya's parents are super thankful to my husband for still treating Raya after everything. That's it for now. Hopefully, this is really the end. OP, file a police report. This is so that there's a record of her actions. Even if nothing comes out of it, in case she escalates and becomes even more unhinged. And if you have the photos / videos, you could use that as proof of stalking as well for a restraining order. From the looks of it, it seems like she wants to pretend your husband is her boyfriend. Maybe look into defamation with a lawyer. This might just be my anxiety, but I would be terrified of random people coming at me and my partner later, because he's cheating on that crazy bish with the OP. Edit to add, it might be helpful to inform HR, or you or your husband's bosses at work, just in case she retaliates somehow. It helps if they're aware, as they'll know if she comes to them with a problem or complaint about any of you, or shows up at work. They can either tell her to fuck off, or immediately call security to escort her out. Of course, we're from the future, and we know this wasn't the end of it. Update number 3, October 18th, 2024, 1 week later. I really didn't want to update this situation, but things have taken a seriously dark turn. When I posted about June's thing for my husband a month ago, I thought it was just some weird crush. Now, it's flat out terrifying. The day after my last post, my husband got a super creepy message from a random number. "You have got it all wrong. Please meet me. I'll make you understand." We freaked. Lawyers and cops are on it, trying to get a restraining order. Both our workplaces have ramped up security, and we've warned friends and family to keep an eye out. This whole thing is destroying my husband's mental health. He's anxious 24/7, wondering if he's being followed. He's stopped going to work because the feeling of being watched is overwhelming. We're trying to prioritize his safety. And honestly, it's breaking my heart. The other night, he broke down in tears. I've never seen him cry before. It was shattering. He's been talking to a therapist online, trying to cope with the stress and anxiety, but even that's not easing his mind. He's consumed by fear for my safety, constantly worrying that June will harm me to get to him. We're covering our bases, security cams, dash cams, the whole works. And I've scoured our home twice for any hidden devices. Thank God, all clear. If things get worse, we're prepared to up and move. Honestly, it's better to have a life in a different state than be dead here. It's heartbreaking to think about leaving our friends, family, and everything behind, but we'll do what it takes to stay safe. Some of the advice on here was really helpful, and I've done most of what was suggested. If someone, anyone, has any more insights, please share. I'm desperate at this point, to be honest. Update number 4, November 9th, 2024, 3 weeks later. I've been sharing some updates on a pretty unsettling situation we've been dealing with. For those who haven't seen my previous posts, the short version is that my husband and I had a friend, June, who started acting super obsessively toward my husband. She secretly recorded him, posted weird videos of him online, and we eventually had to cut ties with her. So after not hearing from June for 3 weeks, things took a really creepy turn on Friday. We hadn't heard a word from her, so we both got a little more relaxed about the whole situation. We went back to work and everything seemed fine, but turns out we were wrong. My husband went to the store after work to grab some groceries. He had no idea June was following him, but when he got to the parking lot, there she was. As soon as he saw her, he tried to get to his car as quickly as possible, but she was already closer and blocked the way to the door. He tried to walk away, but she stepped in front of him, begging him to talk to her. She kept saying it was just a harmless crush and that she'd leave us alone if he'd just listen. She even said, "Please talk to me." He didn't respond and kept trying to walk away, but she wouldn't let him. She begged again and reached into her coat pocket. My husband heard a metallic sound and instantly thought she might be pulling out a weapon. In a split second, he grabbed her hand to stop her and pushed her away with force. She lost her balance and fell down, but he didn't stick around. He quickly jumped in his car and sped off as fast as he could. Thankfully, she didn't follow him. After getting away, my husband immediately contacted the police. They managed to get security footage from the parking lot, and it shows 2 people, a man and a woman, running towards the car. After a short while, the man pushes the woman down and quickly gets in the car, speeding off. The footage wasn't super clear, but it shows the general sequence of events. Of course, it's still not totally clear what she was planning, or what she had on her. But the situation was extremely tense. We've been trying to get a restraining order against her, and hopefully this time we'll get it, but we're not entirely sure how things will unfold now. We're also moving to my parents' home country for a while, just to feel safer, and take a step back from everything. It's going to be tough rebuilding our lives from scratch, but I guess that's what's in our destiny. So yeah, that's where we're at. This whole situation is terrifying, and we're just trying to keep our heads straight and stay safe. I'll keep you all posted if anything else happens, but for now, we're just trying to lay low and handle this as best we can. And then the final update would come 8.5 months later, earlier this month. Update number 5, July 19th, 2025. 8.5 months later from the last update. Previous posts are on my account. It's been a while since I posted. A lot has happened since then, and honestly, I don't even know how to make sense of any of it anymore. For context, my 28 female friend June became obsessed with my husband, 32 male, secretly filmed him at home and work, and posted a viral TikTok. She had hundreds of photos and videos of him. It escalated with stalking, creepy messages, and a confrontation in a parking lot where my husband thought she was pulling a weapon. We involved the police, tried to get a restraining order, increased security, and nearly relocated. This was around 9 months back. We didn't end up relocating. Things eventually calmed down. June's parents actually came over and apologized. They told us she checked herself into a mental rehab facility. She's been diagnosed with some stuff. I'm not going to get into the details, but apparently she's doing better now. She even messaged us months later and apologized. It seemed genuine. We accepted it, but we kept no contact, and she's respected that. She's still in therapy and being monitored, from what I've heard. But yeah, that's not the part that messed me up. My husband and I are getting a divorce. After everything we went through, I really thought it would bring us closer. I stood by him when he was falling apart. I handled everything. I looked after him. I took care of things. I stayed calm when he couldn't. I thought we were solid. 2 months ago, he told me he wanted a divorce. Just like that. No fight, no lead up. I asked why, and he just shrugged and said he needed to move on. I asked if something had happened or if I had done something wrong, and he just stared at me like I was speaking another language. Like he wasn't even interested in explaining. Looking back, he started changing around like he couldn't be bothered to engage with me anymore. It wasn't sudden exactly, but it was steady. He stopped checking in, stopped talking unless it was about day-to-day stuff. And I kept thinking maybe it was the aftershock of everything we'd been through, that maybe he was just processing everything in his own way. But now I don't know. I honestly don't know what I was looking at. He went from crying and breaking down in my arms last year to being a dickhead a few months later. And I still don't understand what changed. And yeah, I've thought about whether there's someone else. There was this one time I saw him staring at the WhatsApp profile picture of one of the junior dentists at his clinic. He didn't know I was behind him. I asked what he was looking at, and he said her dog. She's absolutely gorgeous, super confident, bubbly, the kind of person who lights up a room. And they had this natural chemistry. I've seen it with my own eyes. Nothing I could really call out. Nothing inappropriate. But it was there. I didn't think much of it at the time. I trusted him a lot. Maybe I was just stupid enough to believe he was actually looking at the dog and not the young, beautiful woman in the photo. Maybe stupid enough to think that my husband was different from the other men who cheated on their wives. Maybe it's a coincidence that she broke up with her longtime boyfriend at the same time. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe I just want there to be a reason. Because honestly, the way he flipped on me out of nowhere doesn't make sense. I still don't get it. I feel like I'm missing something. He already filed and moved out. We barely speak. He's like a stranger now. And I'm just trying to keep it together. I've been drinking more than I should. I know it's not the answer, but it's what I've been doing to get through the days. I'll sort myself out eventually. I just don't know when. That's where I'm at. I don't know if I'll update again. Thanks to the people who've been following the whole thing. A lot of people want to demonize the husband. We will never know what made him want the divorce, but just saying, a creepy woman posted him on the internet without his consent, and then his wife posted about him on the internet without his consent. This story was very popular. It wouldn't surprise me if the husband saw a random TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc. about it, or even someone sending him the link with, "Hey, weren't you being stalked by June?" Yeah, this part really screams out to me. I asked if something had happened or if I had done something wrong, and he just stared at me like I was speaking another language. That's the reaction of someone who has clearly not been listened to. Makes me think we're not getting the full story here. Honestly, I'd be uncomfortable if my spouse invited my stalker's parents into my house and still classed her as a friend. I'd feel violated again, and like my house wasn't safe. Same, she was so adamant about getting restraining orders, police, moving houses, and then it all went away just because the parents came and apologized, and the friend too. I think he realized OOP wasn't a safe person. Maybe I'm just a cynic, but I'm thinking the husband had a thing with June sometime back. When he broke it off, June became obsessed. My thoughts exactly. Man, people always want there to be an affair because at least we understand that. Sometimes the truth is just weirder. I saw a story the other day where a husband just got obsessed with rock climbing to the point of not seeing his family anymore. And all the comments really thought there would be an affair, to make it make sense, but who knows? I'm not sure we have enough information to know what's really going on in this story, especially since the wife seems so confused. Anyway, I think that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about the story or about my content, let me hear it in the comments. I'll be reading them while the video's new. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same, and other crap from Reddit. Big thanks finally to my amazing patrons, who help me with more direct support. It's a huge help. I think I'll be back with Nice Guys very soon, and then I probably have to cover Russell's book again. Those have been fun videos. Have a great day, everyone, and don't put too much of your personal business online.